Erich Fromm quotes: "Love is a decision, it is a judgment, it is a promise. If love were only a feeling, there would be no basis for the promise to love each other forever. A feeling comes and it may go. How can I judge that it will stay forever, when my act does not involve judgment and decision? Love isn't something natural. Rather, it requires discipline, concentration, patience, faith, and the overcoming of narcissism. It isn't a feeling, it is a practice." Immature love says, "I love you because I need you." Mature love says, "I need you because I love you." Paradoxically, the ability to be alone is the condition for the ability to love. Creativity requires the courage to let go of certainties. If a person loves only one other person and is indifferent to all others, his love is not love but a symbiotic attachment, or an enlarged egotism. One cannot be deeply responsive to the world without being saddened very often. That millions of people share the same forms of mental pathology does not make these people sane. Man is the only animal for whom his own existence is a problem which he has to solve. There is perhaps no phenomenon which contains so much destructive feeling as moral indignation, which permits envy or hate to be acted out under the guise of virtue. Infantile love follows the principle, "I love because I am loved." Mature love follows the principle, "I am loved because I love." Immature love says, "I love you because I need you." Mature love says, "I need you because I love you." Love is the only sane and satisfactory answer to the problem of human existence. Nationalism is our form of incest, is our idolatry, is our insanity. Patriotism is its cult, just as love for one individual which excludes the love for others is not love. Love for one's country which is not part of one's love for humanity is not love, but idolatrous worship. Love means to commit oneself without guarantee, to give oneself completely in the hope that our love will produce love in the loved person. Love is an act of faith, and whoever is of little faith is also of little love. It is naively assumed that the fact that the majority of people share certain ideas and feelings proves the validity of these ideas and feelings. Nothing could be further from the truth. Consensual validation as such has no bearing on reason or mental health. Man's main task is to give birth to himself. The quest for certainty blocks the search for meaning. Uncertainty is the very condition to impel man to unfold his powers. Modern man thinks he loses something time when he does not do things quickly. Yet he does not know what to do with the time he gains except kill it. The fact that millions of people share the same vices does not make these vices virtues. The fact that they share so many errors does not make the errors to be truths, and the fact that millions of people share the same form of mental pathology does not make these people sane. The mature response to the problem of existence is love. The real opposition is that between the ego-bound man, whose existence is structured by the principle of having, and the free man, who has overcome his egocentricity. Is love an art? Then it requires knowledge and effort. To die is poignantly bitter, but the idea of having to die without having lived is unbearable. The task we must set for ourselves is not to feel secure, but to be able to tolerate insecurity. Not he who has much is rich, but he who gives much. The more the drive toward life is thwarted, the stronger is the drive toward destruction. The more life is realized, the less is the strength of destructiveness. Destructiveness is the outcome of unlived life. Who will tell whether one happy moment of love or the joy of breathing or walking on a bright morning and smelling the fresh air, is not worth all the suffering and effort which life implies? The whole life of the individual is nothing but the process of giving birth to himself, Indeed, we should be fully born when we die, although it is the tragic fate of most individuals to die before they are born. Freedom is not a constant attribute which we either have or have not. In fact, there is no such thing as freedom except as a word and an abstract concept. There is only one reality, freeing ourselves in the process of making choices. In this process, the degree of our capacity to make choices varies with each act, with our practice of life. In love, the paradox occurs that two beings become one and yet remain two. If I am what I have and if what I have is lost, who then am I? Nobody but a defeated, deflated, pathetic testimony to a wrong way of living. There is nothing inhuman, evil, or irrational which does not give some comfort, provided it is shared by a group. People do not see that the main question is not, am I loved, which is to a large extent the question, am I approved of? Am I protected? Am I admired? The main question is, can I love? To spare oneself from grief at all cost can be achieved only at the price of total detachment, which excludes the ability to experience happiness.